Hello YouTube, it's Tiani. Thank you for tuning into another video. Today's video is going to be, I don't know if it's going to be a long one. You would know, but in my mind it's going to be a long one because today is a sit down and talk topic. And this talking topic, I have not actually created anything new on it. So I made it, I think, in March. And I can't remember what made me actually come up with this, but I just was thinking about society, thinking about just humans in general. And it made me come up with today's title, which is internet personalities versus reality. And I don't know if that's actually the correct title to describe what this video is going to be, but it's just the title that came to my mind. I made these talking topics a very long time ago, so I'm going to be reading throughout this video. But essentially, today's video is me talking about the title is self-explanatory: internet personalities versus reality. Internet personalities, or the personality that you adopt from the internet, versus what you actually really are, or what reality shows. And especially in like my demographic or where I'm from, you will see a lot of it. You'll see a lot of people get their personalities one from the internet, and they're not really in touch with what reality really is, or I would say in touch with themselves. And when I started to think about this video, it made me think about Jekyll and Hyde, which is it's a book that I think you read when we was in like secondary school. I think you might have to do it for your GCSEs or something like that in the UK at least. But it's basically a book where I think there is one man with two personalities in his one body, and I think by the day he is Jekyll, which is I think he's a well-known man in society, a lawyer, an up-class man, and then by night he's Hyde, which is like the monster in him that wants to lash out and kill people and do all these madnesses. And throughout the book, you see him struggling to contain. Well, I don't know who him is because they're both him, but throughout the book, you'll see a battle between the two personalities, between Jekyll taking over and Hyde taking over, at least from my remembrance of the book. I may be butchering the book completely, but that's still relevant to what I'm talking about. And I see it's the same as a lot of people in society, but a lot of people won't actually think like that. They don't actually see it as, okay, I am in a dual personality conflict like Jekyll and Hyde. No, they'll just see it as, I'm just living. And I think Jekyll most likely felt like that as well. But I don't even know the objective of this video, but it's just me sitting down talking about this. And whether it will benefit somebody, maybe, but it's just going to be me sitting here talking and then having some opinions on things that I said myself a long time ago. So for me thinking about this video, I think I did some research around the time, and somebody said this and I actually really enjoyed it because it actually made a lot of sense and I resonated with it. It said every internet personality is based off rap or punk. And at first glance, you'll think, what does that even mean? Like, what does that even mean? But I'll read what I took notes from. They are either, I don't care about you, or I am depressed and upset. And if you look around, I don't know your age, but if you look around, the majority of people, most likely your friends as well, and the people around you, or just the people you know, their personalities are, I don't care about anybody, or they are depressed or upset. And sadly, that's the way that a lot of personalities are. Thankfully for me, I go to church, so that's not really what I see. But when I was in secondary school and sixth form, that is a lot what I saw. I saw a lot of people having, I don't care about you personalities, or I am depressed and upset personalities. And even me, before Jesus Christ saved me and changed my life completely, that is exactly how my life was. I was one of those, I don't care about you, and I was the depressed and upset type of person, just because of the way I adopted my personality from the internet, because I wasn't actually in touch with reality. As I said, they're either I don't care about you or I am depressed and upset. We are the music we listen to, whether we like it or not. Music is extremely influential. Some of us adopt the personality of the music we listen to. If you listen to rap or drill, you'll feel like a gangster. If you listen to punk or rock, you'll feel depressed or repressed. And it's 100% true. And I think I go on to talk about a story about me and my friends about how drill affected us. And essentially, I 100% agree with that. And some of the scriptures that I have for that is Proverbs 18 verse 21. Death and life are in the power of the tongue, and those who love it will eat its fruit. And then in NLT version, because that was KJV, the tongue can bring death or life. Those who talk will reap the consequences. Additionally, Proverbs 23 verse 7. For as he thinketh in his heart, so is he. There's a little bit more about that. So, the lyrics of music we listen to are downloaded in our auditory cortex, causing us to remember these songs. This will cause us to constantly recite the lyrics we heard. So when people say it's just a song, it's more than that, because as the Bible says, the tongue can bring death or life. So the lyrics we are saying come with consequences. Furthermore, as a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. So the lyrics you are thinking about when you're singing about how the world hates you, or about how you hate life, or about how you want to shoot or stab someone, that is what your heart will start to desire. And I 100% agree with that. Because, for example, I'll talk about the story of my friends. As we were growing up, we were all some young, good boys. However, the second that we started listening to, like, for example, drill music or seeing influences, obviously there's also, you can actually adopt the personalities of your environment and also the role models in your community. I 100% agree with that. But I think there was a point in time in the UK where the drill scene was flourishing. And every single person wanted to be a drill rapper. Every single person wanted to be in the street and be gang. And at that point in time, you can see that the influence that music has on people truly drastically can affect them and actually change them. As I was saying earlier, from what those guys, I think it was like a podcast with these two guys about saying that everyone's personalities, well, internet personalities, are adopted from rap or punk. And you'll see the majority of people who are just living life on the internet, that are not really in touch with reality. They're either, I hate every single person, or I don't care about you, it's all about me. So extremely prideful life. Or it is, I am depressed, the world hates me, and I'm upset 24/7 because the world doesn't care about me, life doesn't care about me, I'm doomed. That's the only personality that you really see from the internet. And that's why for me personally, I don't really enjoy, how do I explain it? I don't really enjoy being in the loop. I think that's the saying, being in the loop. Because there's no difference and there's no positivity on it. I've actually seen a lot of hate on the internet, and not like from what I've personally received, but I've seen, for example, I like to watch like basketball clips, or I don't know. There's different genres that I've seen on social media. But for some reason, every single genre, there is hate. I don't know how, but people will find things to hate on with literally everything. People can hate on literally everything. So for me, I don't really like being in the loop. But when I was in the loop, as I'm trying to say, the majority of personalities that I saw were, I don't care about you, or it was, I am depressed. And so many people say these things like it's a joke, or say these things like saying it doesn't have no consequence. The Bible says, what is it? Death and life are in the power of the tongue, and those who love it will eat its fruit. So if you consistently say, I am depressed or I am upset, when you're reciting the songs from, I don't know who you listen to. For example, I used to listen to, like, for example, Playboy Carti, like Lil Uzi. I used to listen to their lyrics. Sometimes their lyrics can be very, very touching and depressing. So what else would I be like? How else would I be living? I was living the way that the music was making me feel. And once I stopped listening to those type of music and stopped having those things in my ears, I saw drastic changes in my life, because I'm no longer reciting those type of lyrics. I'm no longer thinking about those type of things. Those things are not playing in my head continuously. So essentially, when I stopped dwelling on those things, and additionally, I think I made a video about we become what we think about. So if you stopped thinking about these type of things and stopped putting yourself in those type of situations, you would stop relating yourself to those type of scenarios. You won't be saying, oh, I hate every single human, or I don't care about anybody. And you won't be saying, I'm depressed and I'm upset 24/7. It also led me to say, and I think this is from somebody else as well, but the lack of the shadow. Always showing your strong card, only showing the ups and downs. This makes us believe that people online are better than us, when all of us are sinners and wrongdoers. We are repressing this shadow and become less and less conscious of it, causing us to believe we are perfect, and which leads us into adopting pride into our hearts. And that is the, if I had to say what's the most common thing about the internet, or the most common, what's the word? The most common consequence of the internet is that everybody now is just showing their strong cards. And I said this, well, I had a business community event, And at this event, I was talking about how I love watching, for example, millionaires just do interviews. And I think I've given this channel a shout out before, but the School of Hard Knocks. And I think everybody should go watch. If the camera shakes, it's because my cat just got up. But yeah, it's basically it's this YouTube channel where this guy just goes around interviewing millionaires. And there was one interview that really stuck with me, and it really relates to this video. It's where this millionaire is saying that he was in his multi-mega mansion and he had his businesses, all this type of stuff. And he was inside, I think it was a cinema room. And he was crying his eyes out, crying to the point where snot was coming out of his nose. Because he had 300k in his bank account, which is a blessing. But the next day, he had 500k in cash credit, or in credit which he owed to the bank. And he also had another 300k which he had to pay off for something else. If you was to see that person on the internet, sorry, my cat actually hit the camera. But where was I? Yes, if you was to see his lifestyle, or see where he was living, or see how he was living, you would say, I want to be like that guy. I want to be that person. And obviously, he ended up coming out on top. He ended up going into the office, working extremely hard, and making enough money to be able to pay off the credits. He spoke to the bank and said, can I have a few more days? And eventually, he sold enough things for him to be able to come out on top. However, at that point in time, the sorrow and pain that he felt, the regular person or someone looking at him on the internet won't even know he was going through those things. He is 100% not recording himself crying in his mega mansion the fact that he's about to be 500k in debt. He's not doing that. He is going through that situation trying to come out on top. And it leads me to say that the majority of people won't even know that he went through that. The majority of people don't see the downfalls that a lot of people have. And they'll look at a lot of people and think everybody's perfect. When in reality, as I said earlier, we are all sinners. The Bible says we are all sinners. We are all wrongdoers. So nobody is perfect. Nobody is perfect at all. So, but if this is the issue of the internet, as I said, the internet, people can be seen as perfect because everyone's only going to show their right card. Everyone's only going to show their strong side. Why would somebody come into the internet and come and post their content and post, oh, this is me crying today, or this is me losing money, or this is me going in debt, or this is me battling something or having a family issue? Nobody's showing this type of things. There's a lack of authenticity, which is why I say internet personalities versus reality. Because in reality, you can't hide, or there's no one that lives a completely perfect life where there's no pain and no sorrow. I'm going to also make another video about how suffering causes perseverance. So essentially, suffering is necessary for you to do anything in life. For you to go anywhere in life, there is an aspect of suffering that's necessary. I don't think there's anybody in this world or any life in this world which has been lived without an ounce of suffering. So there is no such thing as the perfect life. But on the internet, everyone's life can be seen as perfect because we don't know the full story. You actually don't know the full story. I've seen the picture, or this has just come to my mind now, where I think it was a picture of, it was basically talking about how the propaganda. And what you could see was they circled it in on these two guys. So the guy on the right and the guy on the left. So it looked like the guy on the right was trying to stab the guy on the left. When in reality, it was the guy on the right shoe from him trying to run away from the guy on the left trying to stab him. And that right there is a perfect indication or a perfect picture for the internet as a whole right now. It can be seen as so many people are living the perfect life, or so many people are living a life that everybody would want to live. When in reality, you don't know what people are actually going through. You don't know what people are actually achieving. People are actually not in it for the long run, but just for the now. But you will never know these type of things because of how the internet makes people look, or how a lot of people use the internet to portray themselves. Which is, once again, why you should not be in the loop. Additionally, I said, you start to lose yourself. Mental battles between what you actually are and what you are trying to be. And it's a thing of, because I'm one person, I really advocate for like healthy delusion, where it's, as you think about what you will be, that's what you will be. I definitely advocate for that. But there's a point where reality has to actually kick in. Like, I'm trying to think of the healthy grounds for it. Don't be the person, like, I think you should know exactly what I mean. I don't think I have to really touch upon that. Just know that, cool, there's certain times when you should be thinking about achieving certain things and labeling yourself that, okay, you've achieved it before you've got to that stage. But then there's actually certain times where it's like, okay, you are actually losing Now I can think of something. Let's say you are on the verge of saying, okay, I'm going to become a millionaire, but you have 1K in your bank. It's not very smart for you to go and make 500, 800 pound purchases. It's not really smart for you to do that. And it's not really smart for you to be trying to eventually live the life, but when when you can't actually afford the life, that's when you're spending that type of money for that lifestyle. For example, let's say you had, again, 1,000 in your bank account, but you spend £900 to go on holiday and look like you're living the life. At that point, cool. It's not wise. Saying that you'll eventually get there and believing that you will get there, I advocate for that. But putting yourself in the situations where you look like you're there prior to you being there, especially at a huge cost where you can't actually afford it, cool, I don't agree with that. So as I've said, you start to lose yourself and you start to lose touch of reality because you are in this situation, but you are battling yourself to think that you are in this situation. And I think, as I said, the internet has started to really make a lot of people go in between with those mental battles. You start to think you are one thing when you're not that thing. I can even talk about it for myself. From when I was on the internet at a young age, I would be seeing a lot of these gangsters online. I'm thinking, yes, I am actually a true gangster. I'm actually truly on road. I was not truly on road. I was not like that. Like, honestly speaking, I was not. I was not completely like that. I actually was, not to say that they're dumb, but I was actually smart. I was like, no, no, no. I'm not going to prison for any of this dumb stuff. I'm not going to prison for that. So it's a thing of the internet can make you truly lose touch of reality. Additionally, it's hard to have value if you are like everyone else. And then I said supply and demand. Once again, I don't know, I don't ultimately know the goal of this video. I don't. But it's just me here sitting here and talking to the camera. But it's hard for you to have value if you're like everyone else. If you look around and you are like this person to the left, this person to the right, and you guys are not completely, there's no split difference between you guys. You all have internet personalities. It's very hard for you to actually have true value. You're not trying to do anything. You're not trying to be, I'm not saying that everyone should chase to be different or be a lone wolf or all that type of stuff. But you can see that, okay, the majority of the world are doing something wrong. The majority of the world are just copying these type of personalities. And I don't think having a personality, a rap personality or a punk personality is very healthy. It's not healthy in the slightest. You see the detriments that it has on both genders. On one side, they're all trying to destroy the other side. In both sides of music, you can hear it. You can literally see it. So it's a thing of essentially don't lose touch with yourself. I think I'm just going to end on that point specifically. Don't lose touch with yourself. Don't let internet personalities be the thing that make you lose touch of reality. As I said, ultimately, don't lose touch of reality and become woke to social media. Put up your blinders and run your own race. And this links to my other video, put up your blinders. Hopefully, you'll go and watch it after this video. But it's basically me saying that put up your blinders. Start running your race and don't look at anybody else. Because that's when you start pulling in those type of internet personalities and you're looking at this person doing this or looking at that person doing that and thinking, firstly, why don't you have that? And it could even make you become depressed or make you ruin your own life when it's all about you putting up your own blinders and running your own race and not worrying about your left and not worrying about your right. Hopefully, somehow, some way, this video has helped somebody. But thank you for tuning into this video. It's been your boy Donnie. We out.